There's a moment every trader knows, a moment that doesn't show on the chart, but it changes everything. It happens right after a loss. Not just any loss, the one that feels personal, the one that makes your chest tight, your jaw clench, your mind race. And in that moment, you stop trading the market. You start fighting it. You tell yourself, I'll get it back. But what you don't realize is this. The moment you try to get it back, you've already lost something far more important than money. You've lost control. Most traders don't fail because they lack strategy. They fail because they don't understand themselves. Revenge trading is not a strategy problem. It is not a knowledge problem. It is a psychological trap, a silent shift from discipline to desperation. You see, the market doesn't know you lost. It doesn't care, but your mind does. And your mind begins to distort reality. It tells you that the next trade must win. It tells you that you need to act now. It tells you that you can't end the day like this. And in that moment, you are no longer thinking in probabilities. You are thinking in pain. Let me explain what's really happening inside you. When you take a loss, your brain doesn't process it as a simple event. It processes it as a threat to your confidence, a threat to your identity, a threat to your sense of control. And the brain is wired to eliminate threats. So it searches for a solution, fast, not logical, fast. And the fastest solution it finds is this: take another trade. Not because it's a good trade, but because it promises relief. Relief from the discomfort, relief from the loss, relief from the feeling of being wrong. But here's the truth most traders never accept. The market is not responsible for your emotional state, and it cannot fix it. No trade will ever fix how you feel. Yet revenge trading is built on the illusion that it will. That one win will erase the pain. That one trade will restore balance. But the market doesn't work like that. Every trade is independent. Every outcome is uncertain. And the moment you believe the next trade must win, you have already abandoned reality. The first lesson you must understand is this: there is no such thing as getting it back. The market doesn't owe you anything. It doesn't know what you lost. It doesn't adjust to your needs. It doesn't compensate for your mistakes. Every trade exists in a neutral environment, a field of probabilities. And when you try to recover a loss emotionally, you are no longer operating in that field. You are trying to bend reality, and reality doesn't bend. The second lesson: a single trade has no meaning, but your mind gives it meaning. You label it as a failure, a mistake, a missed opportunity, and then you try to correct it. But in a probabilistic environment, there is nothing to correct. Losses are part of the system. They are not errors. They are not punishments. They are simply outcomes. And when you accept that, you remove the emotional charge. The third lesson: emotional pain distorts perception. After a loss, you don't see the market clearly. You see what you want to see. You see setups that aren't there. You ignore risk. You increase position size. Why? Because your goal has changed. You are no longer trying to trade well. You are trying to feel better. And those are two completely different objectives. The fourth lesson: discipline is not tested during winning streaks. It is tested immediately after a loss. Anyone can follow rules when things are going well. But the true test is what you do when you feel uncomfortable, when your mind is screaming for action, when every part of you wants to click buy or sell just to escape the feeling. That is where traders are made or destroyed. The fifth lesson: consistency is built on emotional neutrality, not confidence, not motivation, not excitement. Neutrality, the ability to take a loss and remain unchanged, the ability to see the next trade as just another probability, not an opportunity to recover, not a chance to prove yourself, just another event. Let me show you how this plays out. A trader starts the day calm. He takes a trade based on his system. It loses. No problem. At first. But then he thinks, that shouldn't have happened. He checks the chart again. He finds another setup, or at least something that looks like one. He enters quickly, this time with more size. Why? Because he wants to recover faster. The trade goes against him again. Now the pressure increases. His breathing changes. His focus narrows. His patience disappears. He takes another trade. No plan, no structure, just reaction. By the end of the session, he hasn't just lost money. He's lost clarity. And the worst part, it all started with one loss he refused to accept. Another trader experiences the same loss, but something is different. He pauses. He feels the discomfort, but he doesn't act on it. He reminds himself, this is one trade, one outcome. It means nothing. He steps away. He resets, and when he returns, he sees the market clearly again. Same loss, different response, different result. The turning point in your trading journey will come when you realize this. You are not here to win trades. You are here to execute a process. Winning and losing are byproducts, not objectives. The moment you make winning your goal, you become vulnerable, because now your emotional state depends on the outcome. But when your goal is execution, you become free. Free from the need to be right. Free from the need to recover. Free from the illusion of control. And in that freedom, you find consistency. You must shift from this mindset, I need to make my money back, to this, I need to follow my process flawlessly, because the process is the only thing you can control, not the market, not the outcome, not the next candle, just your actions. So how do you stop revenge trading? You don't stop it by forcing discipline. You stop it by changing your relationship with loss. Before you ever enter a trade, you must accept the outcome. Completely, not intellectually, emotionally. You must be at peace with losing. Because if you're not, the market will expose that. Every time. Create a rule. After every loss, you pause. Not optional, mandatory. Step away from the screen. Breathe. Reset. Because the next trade you take immediately after a loss is rarely about the market. It's about your emotions. Reduce your size, especially after a losing trade, because revenge thrives on urgency and size. It wants fast recovery, but consistency requires patience and control. Track your emotional state, not just your trades. Ask yourself, why am I taking this trade? If the answer has anything to do with recovering a loss, you don't take it, no exceptions. And most importantly, redefine what success means. Success is not ending the day green. Success is following your rules, even when you're down, especially when you're down. Revenge trading is not a mistake. It is a mirror. It shows you exactly where you are emotionally. It reveals your beliefs about loss, about control, about yourself, and if you're willing to see it clearly, it becomes your greatest teacher. The market will test you again and again, not your strategy, but your mindset. It will tempt you. After every loss, it will whisper, take another trade, fix it, get it back. And in that moment, you have a choice. Follow the impulse or follow the truth. The truth is simple. You don't need to get it back. You don't need to win the next trade. You don't need to prove anything. You only need to execute with clarity, with discipline, with acceptance. Because in the end, the traders who survive are not the ones who avoid losses. They are the ones who don't let losses change them. And when you reach that point, when a loss feels no different than a win, when your mind stays still, no matter the outcome. That's when you stop chasing the market and start thinking like a professional. This content is inspired by the teachings of Mark Douglas,